We're about to start.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
There he is.
All right. Here we go. Let's set this thing up so everybody can see us. Everybody know what's going on tonight. Oh, you want to like that. We are officially live on YouTube. So for everybody out there watching, peace and blessings and welcome back to the Heritage Hip Hop interview session live on YouTube. And tonight I got a very special guest on who I met some time ago, and everything happens in God's time. Because tonight's interview is going to be something that people have wanted to see for a long time. And it's my honor and pleasure to get to do this. So before we get into the interview, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, and get this interview where it needs to be. For those of you who love Heritage Hip Hop and you like Heritage Hip Hop, if you don't hit the like or you don't comment and share, then the algorithm does nothing and nobody sees this. So for people who say we got to support Jersey, we got to do this, the best thing you could do to support right now is to hit the like button when you come into the room, comment, and then share it so people could get on. And also make sure you subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop and hit the notification bell so you're not lost whenever anything new comes out. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm on Boom You With, all that. But most importantly, I'm everywhere you are. And as long as you got a phone, you always plugged in. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And with that being said, I'd like my guest to introduce himself right now.
What's good? What's good, everybody? You know, let's get loose. GL, aka Frank Bates, aka Fat Chumpy. We in here. Orphange, right. You know what I mean? What's good? What's good?
We got a lot to talk about when it comes to New Jersey hip hop. You said the Orphans. It's just so much that we're gonna digest in given time. So why don't you start from there? What opened you up to the door in the lane of New Jersey hip hop?
Man, I've been doing music since I was 13 years old, man. My mom and dad used to sing with Parliament Funkadelic. They used to practice in my living room to keep it a bean. And you know, when Parliament blew up and really got big, you know, my mom and dad kind of fell back because family reasons and all of that. But that's when I really first got turned on to music, man. I used to sneak in and watch their practices and stuff like that, man. And you know what I mean? From there, man, it was just something, it was just in the blood, man. It's just, yo, music is me, I am it. And from there, man, like I just discovered a talent of how to put sounds together. And I always wanted to play drums all my life, but I never really got a chance to sit behind a drum set. You know, my godfather, Raymond Davis, God rest his soul, that was with the Parliament, bought me a drum set. And, you know, I fooled around with it a few times or whatever, but, you know, as you get older and you start running outside and playing football and flag football and little league and this and that, and start doing all of that stuff. So I really didn't spend time with drums. I was doing other stuff, but music has always been in my blood, man. And just from, you know, wanting to play drums and stuff like that, man, I just got into DJing. And I was DJing high school parties at 13 years old. And from DJing, that took me into, you know, once I got to the pinnacle of DJing, and what I mean by that is I did every college in Jersey from Ramapo all the way out to Norfolk State University. I used to do their homecoming every 4 years. They used to give me a room, pay me $1,500 and all of that. Me and DJ Mustafa. And, you know, we used to, man, do the homecomings. We did Seton Hall. And once I got to that point, man, I just felt like I needed more. And DJing really wasn't doing it for me. So in the early 80s, I had started dabbling with MCing. But I just didn't really take it serious because I was always on the 1 and 2s, you know what I mean? So then like in the late 80s, I started like, you know, jumping into the craft on the mic. And from there, it's been history.
Let's not skip over what you said, because you said something very dope and pivotal. Parliament Funkadelic practice in your living room?
Yeah, honest to God. No bull.
So you got to understand, when you look back at that, you were in the forefront of the funk Black Power movement in your living room.
Every Saturday, sometimes Thursday nights, but every Saturday and Sunday, man, when they used to set up on Saturdays, they would leave the equipment set up because they come right back Saturday night if some of them didn't spend the night.
Wow.
I'm talking about this was and look, man, you know, we're going to keep it a bean. I ain't got nothing to hide because I love what I do. I love who I am. This was in the heroin era, you know, where the dude had them nod and they was coming up with the mean bass lines and, you know, being all that. That's when they was coming up with the funk, you know? So, man, I've been around this music thing forever.
My thing with Parliament is this, though. That's the funk era. You're talking about, if you were sitting in the living room, right? You were sitting in the midst of the bass line. You were sitting in the midst of the horn. You got to hear the voices before the vocalist even spoke on the track.
Check this out, right? Rev, I'm gonna blow your wig back even more. My wife that I'm married to right now, her brother was a part of Parliament Funkadelic. And when he used to come to practice, he used to bring my wife with him. I played with her as little kid.
As a kid, wow, that's deep, yo. So, okay. I don't want to go in too fast. I want to go too fast. I want to unpack this slowly.
Look, man, we here, bro. This was inevitable. It was supposed to happen, but like you said in the beginning of the interview, you know, it's only in God's time. So I got time tonight, man. We're going to talk about it. Let's talk about all of it, man, because I got a lot I want to say too.
Okay. So.
Wait, can I just cut you off for one quick second?
Go ahead.
I just want to do something because this is in my heart and this is what I feel in my heart. And this ain't for props or none of that. I just want to give a humongous shout out and rest in paradise to Govmatic. He was like a brother from another mother with me, man. I want to say rest in paradise, Gov, and I'm gonna hold this torch up for you, God. Peace. All right, I needed to say that, man, because I needed to say that.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm glad that you did that because we're gonna go into all that. Like I said, I'm gonna take my time to unpack this because we got like a good hour to talk, and there's gonna be so much to pack in that hour. So I expect a part 2 or part 3. Oh boy, stop. Give me 1 second on the floor and you make a noise. I'm in an interview. All right, so as I was about to say, your history with understanding music comes before the turntable even was introduced into New Jersey.
Facts.
Because I don't think New Jersey loves hip hop. I really don't. I think New Jersey does hip hop. I think New York loves hip hop because that's what came from them. Jersey likes the club scene because our bounce is so different.
Yes, it is.
So when we talk about the understanding of music and you traveling throughout New Jersey from your origins, which is funkadelic practice, to the party scene, what divides New Jersey amongst itself when it comes to the sound and the ear and appreciation of music?
You just said it. It's the appreciation for the music, man. It's I think that Jersey has a distinct sound, man, and whether cats want to give it up to us or not, I think that we always bob to our own rhythm. We've always did our own. We always had our own style. We always had our own identity. We've always done our own thing, and sadly enough, some of us has gotten credit for it, and some of us haven't. You know what I mean? But I just think that what separates Jersey from, different states or, and cultured states, I'll say that. We have a ear for the music. We have an ear for the bounce, like you said. We come up with our own stuff. We vibe different. It's, collectively, we just have a different ear from different states, I would say.
I want to ask you this question because I've talked to some early producers when it comes to Jersey, and this is the main question I always ask. Who was more influential in the sound of New Jersey hip hop, Bob James or James Brown? Who do you say?
James Brown.
Why do you say that?
James Brown was more influential. He's the most sampled artist of all time.
Okay.
Everybody who's somebody sampled James Brown. He was the most influential, especially in the hip hop culture. And not only in the hip hop culture, in the pop culture and everything, but James Brown, to me, Bob James, don't get it twisted. Bob James, he did numbers, but not like James Brown. James Brown is the most influential and the most sampled artist of all time.
The reason why I ask this is because of that bounce. Because when I talk to some people, they say Bob James had more influence on the culture than James Brown. And the reason why I ask that is because there's different types of DJs which do different types of sound.
Mm-hmm.
So if you came from the Parliament era, that's the funk era.
Mm-hmm.
So that would lead me to believe that you were more closely tied to the James Brown sound.
Of course.
And you got to see the inner workings of the funk lifestyle and the funk euthanasia that came from the sound. But here's the thing that I think people don't give the DJ or the producer credit for. The ear is the organ that grows as fast as the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Because your heart is responsible to giving the life fluid that your body needs to run, but your ears also give your body the life experience that it needs to learn, develop, and grow at the same time.
That's a fact.
What part of the ear is it that defines a producer, a beat maker, or a person who loves music to you?
To me, good question. Whatever moves your soul.
Okay.
You can hear something and you'll be like, oh, that's mean. Oh, that's mean. But you can hear something and you just make the ugly face and shake your head like, yo, it's over. It's over. When you get one of those, that's what the ear does. That's what the ear does. That's what separates that one from that one. You know what I'm saying, so to speak.
I think that's what people are spoiled nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get so much sound that now it's like you have to fight to listen to music. Where back in the day, you were looking for music, and then when somebody had it, people were so overzealous to be the first one to have it or the only one to have it that you had to really do your digging and you appreciated the sound more. Shout out to the breakbeat era and the pause tape era. You know what I'm saying? Come on, talk about it. Talk about it.
Listen, man, the breakbeat era, shameless plug. I was the first one in Newark to ever do a breakbeat album. Once I did a breakbeat album, then everybody else followed suit. Gov, G-Rock, you know, and a couple of other cats. But I was the first one in the bricks to do a breakbeat album. And I only did 1,000 copies, so it's a classic. And when I did it, this is the joint right here.
Ooh, classics. Classics. I want that.
If you got this, you got a classic. And when they did an interview on it, and the Source magazine did a interview on it, the Vibe did an interview on it, and I was rated number 4 of breakbeats of all time.
What? I want that.
From that joint right there. And I was the first one in the bricks to do that. So with that being said, doing a breakbeat joint, that was crazy. And then I want to rewind a little bit and go to the pause tape era. Me and Gov, man, a lot of people, man, listen, I've been on Gov since he was on Osborne.
Shout out to Osborne Terrace. That's my old stomping grounds. 175 Osborne Terrace. Salute.
Facts. So when I met Gov, he was on Osborne, man, and I used to go down to his spot, and we would do joints. He showed me how to pause tape, and once I learned how to do pause tapes with him, man, I used to go down there. And me, him, Swan Stigger, we used to eat fried bologna sandwiches and do beats all day long, do freestyles all day long. You know what I mean? So the pause tape era was crazy, man, crazy. And at that time, James Brown was the pinnacle because we was using the Payback, we was using Funky Drummer, you know, chop it up Funky Drummer, see who could chop Funky Drummer the best so that jokers couldn't even tell what it was. You know what I mean? So I mean, like, bro, man, this producer thing, man, I'm not a beat maker, I'm a producer.
We're going to talk about the difference between that too, because like I said, there's a lot to unpack, but I want to stick it to the past, like that past for a minute, because my recollection of Newark in like 84 to 87 is totally different from a seasoned vet of Newark back then, because I was a young boy. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, see, the things I remember when Run DMC came out in Newark, right? It was like the street kid had something that was reminiscent of them, but it wasn't them really. Am I correct?
Yeah.
But that Run DMC sound was ecliptic because, as you know, in the clips, when the sun and the moon disappears, it gets dark, and that's when it gets a little wild.
That's a fact.
So when hip hop Run DMC era, what happened in Newark, it was a little wild. That was when downtown was crazy.
Yo, man, listen, that's when me and my uncle, we had a back room at Sensations. That's when they had 2 rooms, the room up front and the room in the back. And that's we was DJing in the room in the back. And yo, you know the Sensation era, you know, I mean, if you from Newark, you know, I ain't gotta really, you know what I'm saying? Sensations was wild, man. Like you could catch, you'll catch a fade in the dressing room, you'll catch a gunshot coming outside. But Sensations was the place to be as far as hip hop was concerned. You know what I'm saying? So that Run DMC era, the LL, and when they did the movie Crush Groove and all of that, we had the back room at Sensations and we was DJing back there. So like, man, listen, it's that era was a blessing to me because that era, it really made me study penmanship as far as lyrically. You know what I'm saying? It really made me get into, like, when I started rhyming, like, you know, developing my own style and not wanting to sound like nobody else. Because back then, if you get caught sounding like somebody else, you get punched in your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, no knock to everybody that's doing anything nowadays and, this music that sounds alike every 5 songs and all of that. No knock to that. But I'm just saying, like, the originality of the culture from where we came from, if you came out, you sounded like somebody else, or somebody said you bit somebody else's shit, you was definitely, you was blackballed from the hood. Like, niggas ain't gonna fuck with you after that. Like, nah, man, I can't mess with dude because he, he's biting. He sound like so-and-so. He don't have no originality. And then you show up in a cipher and you get punched in your shit because,
I'm gonna keep it real. You don't have to say it. I'm gonna say it. That shit tonight nowadays is garbage. I don't like none of it. I don't like the copycat shit. I kind of give a pass to people who use the same beats because back in the era after that, it was who could rip the same beat better. That's how all the reggae tapes came out. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But I want to go back a little bit though, because after the Run DMC era, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when the car era happened in Newark. Am I lying?
Saabs, BBSs, everything, caddies. I had the caddy, the Brougham.
Oh, shout out to the Brougham. So check it out.
15s behind the seat, 412s across the back.
Yeah, we're talking about the late 80s, early 90s era.
Yes, sir.
But I want to know this, because you were around the music from even before that.
Mm-hmm.
There's pivotal albums and MCs that when they hit Newark, the city changed.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the first time Newark got when the Big Daddy Kane and Rakim and how it changed the city.
To me, the city was in a frenzy to me, because it was sheesh, man. It was a new wave of MC. It was a new wave of we call it styling on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Freaka, that's my brother. We called it styling. So if somebody jumped on the mic, we wanted to see what they were styling like. You know what I mean? So they came with a different style. They came with the cadence was different. It's just it was a different feel, man. And I think that, brothers like Mike C, that was able to tear down anything at any given time. You know what I mean? He was itching to get at that. You know what I mean? So, like, when that came to Newark, it was like we took it like, yo, they killing it, but nigga, we could do that, and we could do better than that. You know what I mean? It's always been a competition thing, and not saying, in a bad way, but selective competition. And I think that, it just kind of turned Newark into, we just became even more in beast mode than before. When that came out, we really got into beast mode, because it was like, yo, okay, now jokers want to come with new styles, want to do this and that. We're going to really turn up. So Newark started like, yo, everybody that was doing something, their originality really started to show through. You know what I mean? And like, whatever I could do, I took that to the pinnacle. Whatever he could do, he took that to the pinnacle. Whatever he could do, he took that to the pinnacle. So Cats was getting known for fast rhyming. Cats was getting known for rhyming slow on beats. Cats was getting, just different things, man, just different things.
So okay.
No, so I was gonna say, so I think it just pushed us into beast mode, so to speak.
So in that era, there was two types of rappers back then. You had the rapper who needed the beatbox, and you had the rapper who needed the DJ. In Newark, New Jersey, which one was more lethal?
That's hard to say. Wow. For me, it was the ones that had the DJs.
Now, see, that goes into the next point of your development and people's appreciation of hip hop in Jersey, because while everybody went to the club to get girls and to dance and hit the hottest new break, there was a movement going around of who could say the flyest thing in the hood. So you had the freestyle legends, the stylists. Shout out to Freaka. Shout out to Shaw Skills. Shout out to Mike C. Shout out to Swanee. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it. Runt Dog, Wayne Dange.
No, that's too fast. That's too far up.
Yeah. Well, they was styling. See, I say that because I was around them.
Okay.
They ain't break in yet. Like they was like Cats, when they broke in, Cats knew them, but I was around them and we was styling in the bedroom. We was styling on the front porch. We was styling in the car. We was styling walking to the store. You know what I mean? So that's why I say that. But go ahead.
What I understand from Newark though was that the two types of rappers came from the different wards of Newark as well.
No question.
See, nobody asked this question, and I've been kind of studying my old interviews, and I wanted to talk to the producers about this because I think this is a hidden secret in Newark that people don't talk about. How was Newark hip hop different in each ward at that time, from Rakim to Nas era? What was it like?
Man, yo, you're an excellent interviewer, son.
I try my best, bro. I try my best.
Wow.
Well, let's take it down. Let's start from the North Ward. Let's do North Ward. What was North Ward hip hop like to you from what you saw?
I would say more like, to me, more like a Kane.
Okay.
More like a Kane.
More style.
South Ward was more like a
Coogee rap. Cause we going somewhere with this, but yeah.
Yeah, I definitely give you that. South Ward was like a G rap. And I'm gonna keep it funky. I was always big on South Ward. You know what I'm saying? I was always big on the South Ward, and I think that I'm gonna break it down like this. This is the best way I could break it down. From Kane and Rakim to Nas, each ward had a piece of all of them, right? But then what happened was each ward, those MCs from Newark and those wards kind of took that as blueprint and ran with their own thing.
Okay.
And created a Newark style of that, or Newark style of this one, a Newark style of that one. You know what I'm saying? Not so much as biting off of them, you know what I'm saying? But like using the blueprint and just turning it into their own thing. And I think that's what makes Newark hip hop great, man. That's what I think makes Newark hip hop phenomenal, because we've always been able to reach the pinnacle and then some. Because it's go ahead.
No, I love what you're saying. Go ahead, keep going.
Because it's, brothers like, let's go back to like the pipeline, right? Yo, when we was doing the pipeline, man, like me, Young Z, Mr. Metaphor, if there's anybody that I'm forgetting, charge it to the head and not the heart, because it's so much. But when the pipeline was open, you would get every facet of a Newark MC that you could possibly imagine that would come through those doors. And when they got on the stage, it was super different from the last cat that just rocked. You know what I'm saying? And if you wasn't nice, we still gave you we still kind of gave you your he all right. But if you wasn't, if you wasn't writing your shit every day, practicing your shit every day, running up in ciphers, even if they wasn't in your hood. If you wasn't doing that, you wasn't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? You was a bedroom MC. That's what we used to call the bedroom MCs. Because the nigga just be rhyming in the bedroom. If you know what I'm saying, you had to come outside. If you ain't come outside, man, listen, it ain't count. It ain't count.
Okay, so the reason why I asked about the different wards is because for people outside of New Jersey, they believe Newark hip hop started with Redman. And even when you look at how they talk about New Jersey hip hop today, that's still 30 years ago.
They think it started with what? Redman?
Yep. Because from what I heard from people outside of the state of New Jersey, they say, "Oh, y'all got Redman? That's it." Or Tretch. Bro. Some people don't even talk about Queen Latifah as much as a MC. They talk about her as Hollywood. You see what I'm saying? So when I do this and I say,
what about the Lords? What about Righteous Teachers?
Nope.
What about you know what I'm saying? Apache. Nope. I mean, come on, man.
No. Listen.
Shaquem, no. Rakim Shabazz.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, Hakeem Green.
No. No, they don't. And I'm not disrespecting them.
No, not you. I'm just saying, right. I'm saying what you saying.
Them, right. No, they don't. Because it was a big deal recently that Chief Rocker was played on the Wu-Tang thing. Because it's like, see, we was here. When I did my interview with Do It All, I even said Lords of the Underground should have been bigger than what they were. And he told me about the labels thing and how Outkast got pushed and they stopped pushing the Lords. Okay. Lakim Shabazz is guaranteed one of the best MCs to ever spit, especially with the type of subject matter he used. But remember, hip hop got big in the 90s, and he wasn't really a 90s era MC. So when it comes to Jersey, Wise Intelligent is known for 2 songs: Rock This Funky Joint and Shaquilla. That's it. I'm not saying that he's not a great MC or whatever.
No, that's a fact. You dead on point.
And the thing with Tretch that's unfair is Tretch is in a group and he doesn't have a solo artist mentality or identity. So when you think of Naughty by Nature, a lot of people don't think of Naughty by Nature as hip hop. They think of Naughty by Nature as just straight up music. So it really depends on how you study the music. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I believe, Naughty, they always been hip hop to me. You know, I know all of them personally. You know what I'm saying? I go back with all of them. Tretch used to, I ain't trying to blow him up or nothing, because that's my man, that's my dog. Like, we hug for 20 minutes every time we see each other. But when I was DJing at Uppsala parties, Tretch used to carry my records in so he could get into the party free.
Shout out to Uppsala, which is now gone.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. A whole college that disappeared.
Yo, some of the most epic parties ever.
Shout out to Clifford J. Scott and EOI trying to get in.
Yes.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and I was doing those parties. I was DJing them joints. You know what I mean? So, but I just think that your ear is what separates whether you want to call it hip hop, rap, whatever. It's a choice, for whatever you're drawn to.
But the thing about New Jersey, because I want to start bringing this back focused on you now. The thing about Jersey is New Jersey has always had to prove itself. That's why I talk about the different wards, because West Ward, East Ward, Central Ward, North Ward, South Ward, they had battles between themselves and they were neutral spots. Like the Pipeline you talked about. Some people have told me about the Armory. Some people have told me about the Mint. Whenever the Peppermint usually tried to get stuff. I heard about Little Shields. I heard about a lot of places, right? You know what I'm saying? But tell me about the Proving Grounds. What was that?
The Proving Grounds?
Yeah.
What was the Proving Grounds?
I'm asking, on a level of a place where people had to come and prove themselves to you.
Ciphers.
Cipher, I call it cipherology, the study of rhymes in groupings. The cipher was killed by the industry.
Yes,
not,
it was.
Not the hood.
Right. Most definitely.
Tell me about Jersey history in cipher.
Real. Like ciphers, man. Like if anybody that knows me, that knows hip hop in Newark, man, jokers used to come to Clinton Ave, man, at any given time on Clinton Ave, and we called it the Orphanage. The name of my group was the Orphans.
Yeah.
But my studio and my crib, we called it the Orphanage. At any given moment, you could come to Clinton Ave and there'd be 25 niggas in my backyard.
All right.
Any day. I'm talking about this is every day. Right? So we used to hold ciphers in the backyard of Clinton Ave. We used to hold ciphers in the front yard. And I mean, I'm talking about jokers from North Newark could come all the way from North Newark to get in a cipher with us on Clinton Ave. Jokers came from everywhere, all over the place to jump in a cipher with us on Clinton Ave. You know what I'm saying? We was always, we was deep, yo. We was deep. We was one of the deepest crews in Newark. You know what I mean? And like ciphers, man, we would run up in a cipher and tear that shit down. Go in arrogant and leave with a bunch of friends. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, listen, if you wasn't nice with your pen and your craft wasn't on point and you jump in a cipher, you was getting your shit ripped. And especially if you sounded like somebody else, you might get punched in your shit. That's a fact. So, I mean, like the proving grounds to me was ciphers, man. And then too, I want to say Pipeline too. Pipeline was another proving ground to me because I've seen some cats come in Pipeline and just, they go wood and niggas would be like, oh my God, what the, and you'd be like, nigga, why did y'all even get on stage? My nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Like at that time, to me, it was a lot of in-hood battles. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, word up. This is prolific. She'll be original. I don't know if cats remember her or not, but she was running with my clique. She'll be original. One of the dopest female MCs ever in the bricks, ever. And these is facts. These is facts. And if anybody in the feed know who I'm talking about, type it in the feed if y'all know who Chill Be Original is. I used to take her and Lauryn Hill to different clubs and have them set it off on female MCs that was in the spot. And her and Lauryn used to just kill shit. These is facts. So, I mean, like, the Pipeline was a place, you know, it was necessarily like a showcase, but you were showcasing against the next man. And it was basically like, it was like a battle, man. It was like a battle royal, man. We looked at ciphers like a battle. You know what I'm saying? Because once you jump in a cipher, man, if it's another cat that think his energy is a little more than yours, he gonna get in and show his ass. And then you like, oh, was he coming at me? All right, well, I'm going at him now. But then somebody else want to get in. So you gotta kind of wait your turn. But I just feel like the proving grounds to me was ciphers and the Pipeline.
My man, I have a glitch in the audio. I am trying to get you back on the audio. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I just heard you talk about Chill B on YouTube and like my sound just went out. Give me 1 second, please. We have some technical difficulties.
No doubt.
Say something now, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We sounding good?
I can't hear you.
Wow.
Something's going on. I cannot hear you.
I touched nothing.
Nothing's muted on your end, right?
No, I didn't touch anything.
Wow, what's going on? All right. Check this out. We're going to flip this. Anybody in the chat, if you have a question, put it in the chat. I'm just going to let you ask the question. I'll answer the questions that I have for you. and we just gonna get real interactive. So everybody in the chat room, shout out to D Rich Freaka, shout out to AIM, shout out to Todd Hatchet, JG Hatchet. Make sure y'all share this. We got Vertical Jones in here. We got
Man,
Big Stomp in here.
Let me say something about Vertical Jones, man. He is one of the most.
Make sure you hit that like and share, please, please, please.
And I was gonna mention him.
Yeah, we got a little delay because I can hear the what's the name, but I can't hear you on here though. One second.
Okay.
Do you see a prompt to unmute on your computer?
No. Let me see. Hold on.
Okay.
No, we good.
I can't hear you for some reason. This is crazy. And I can't hear you on my computer. Give me 1 second.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are sorry for this. I just can't hear. Can you say something now?
No doubt. Can you hear me now?
Ah, gotcha. All right, we back. Let me try to get these headphones up one more time.
Okay.
All right, I think I got you.
All right, we sounded.
All right, we good. We good.
Okay.
Chill B. That's what you said.
She'll be original. Man, let me tell you something, man. She was one of the dopest MCs in the bricks. She didn't really get the shine that she was supposed to, but cats knew who she was. And I used to take her and Lauryn Hill to different clubs to battle other female MCs. These is facts. These is facts, bro. Like, man, listen, like so many different spots, man. I used to take them. Yo, I used to go to the Booger basement and just rock out with Clef and them, just for no reason, just to chill and do beats. I mean, bro, the list goes on. I want to shout out, you was talking about some people in the feed. I'm going to shout out, my wife is in the feed, my brother's in the feed. My brother, Todd Hatchet, was also one of the members of the Orphange, one of the illest MCs ever. My brother was one of the illest MCs ever.
He has an open door. He could come on the platform if you're ready.
Mac 10. These was all members of the Orphans, and everybody else was affiliates, and they was bastard children, and you know what I mean, like the Orphanage, and yo, the whole gambit. Shout out to Vertical Jones.
Yes.
One of the illest jokers in Newark that nobody, I don't ever hear jokers say his name in an interview. That's my little brother, man. When he was a little knee high to an ant, me and his brother, his oldest brother, Swig, we used to have him around the equipment, have him in the studio, bring him to the studio and all of that type of stuff, man. And he took that and ran with what he ran with. Shameless plug, y'all need to go scoop up that Monochrome series, the whole series.
The whole series. And
swim. Thank you. It's insane. Y'all need to cop that. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Shout out Vertical Jones. Shout out Stomp. That's in the room too. That's my little bro too, man. I've been running with Stomp for 15, 18 or better. You know, the new era of jokers in Newark may not know me. You know, may not know me, but they've heard my music. They've heard of me. You know what I mean? Shout out to Freaker too. He in the room too. That's my brother right there. We got something crazy coming. Y'all just hold your horses. Hold your horses. We got something mean coming. Mean.
I can't wait for that one.
I just want to say, I'm gonna do this real quick, and then we jump into whatever else. I'm gonna just run down my quick resume. While jokers was grab assing in the hood, blowing trees and all of that, I was really outside. I was really, really outside. Facts. I was working with Royal Bayan, which is the brother who was responsible for what's the group that did the joint? I Want to Sex You Up. I want to sex you up. What's the name of the group, man? I can't remember.
You're talking about Color Me Bad?
Color Me Bad, yeah. I work with them. even going back further than that, Diane Young from Young and Company. I did stuff with them. You already know my Parliament Funkadelic story. I've done stuff with Redman. Yo, Redman, that's my brother from another mother. When Red see me, he run up to me, jump on me, put his legs around my waist and his arms around my neck and tell me he loved me every time I see him. That's my bro. I have a box of discs that Red gave me. That's every sound that he used on the There Is a Dark Side album for the MPC 2000 XL. So all the sounds that he used on a 2000 XL to do There's a Dark Side, I got all of those kicks and snares and bass sounds. I have those. That's how close me and Reggie are. So, you know, when jokers, they come and do the interviews and they don't say GL, they don't mention me. It's cool. It's cool. Because I was outside. I was really, when Egypt, I don't know if y'all know Audrey Ladd, but Egypt, she got the magazine now. When she got her first deal with Polygram Records, I was the producer on her album. They were sending car service from New York City to Jersey to pick me up and take me from Jersey back to New York at Polygram Records. You feel me? And this is when, man, listen, this is when Jokers was just freestyling and all of that. Man, I was really in the spots. I'm one of the only producers in Newark. Only producers in Newark that did a full album on God Rest in Peace, Slang Ton. That's my bro, Slang, rest in peace, my guy. Yo, one of the illest MCs I've ever heard in my life. Slang, shout to you, bro. Rest in peace. I'm gonna keep it alive for you, bro. I did a whole album on him on my front porch when I lived in East Orange. And Veda and Kilo, OCM. I don't know if y'all know who that is. Ill group. People used to get Veda and Vega mixed up because Vega was a DJ, but he did beats too. And he was from Walnut up in East Orange. But Veda, I taught him how to use the MP. My cousin Steve, which he did one of the singles for Milkbone. I taught Steve how to use the MP. People don't mention Mufi. Mufi was crazy. Mufi was crazy. He did a lot. Yo, I'm just keeping it a bean. He was responsible for a lot of that naughty sound. KG, my man, salute and all of that. But Mufi was behind a lot of them tripping kicks and that sound note he had. Mufi was behind a lot of that. And he was so humble, he never took credit for nothing.
So let me just take a producer's ear and ask you the questions, because you talk a lot about your past, but you got new music out. Shout out to Sweet Dreams Volume 1, award-winning project, by the way, on the Heritage Hip Hop Awards. Let's get that straight, because our awards count too, damn it. You know what I'm saying?
Salute that.
That's right. And with you working across the years as a producer, how has the caliber of MC changed when it came to creating songs and being crazy verbally? Because I would like to hear more about 2 p.m. I want to hear more about the 90s era. I want to hear more, and I want to hear you contrast them with like Dot and Stomp today and MCs of this caliber. What do you hear and feel?
I'm gonna take Stomp, Dot Bundini, even Chops, Grumpy Old Man. I'm gonna take them and I'm gonna push them in the era where, you know, where when I was coming up, because they not saying that they have old styles or anything like that, but they serious about their writing craft. They serious about their artistry. They serious about, you know, what they verbalize on the mic, about coming across the way they want to come across. You know what I mean? Throughout the years, man, I've done projects, man, for numerous people, man. And I want to say that in my heart, I live with the MC. I don't live with rappers. And what I mean by that is, you know, an MC controls the crowd. An MC is more into studying his craft on the mic. A rapper will get together and pull words from, you know, cat, hat, that, bat, sat, and try and make it sound good. An MC is going to take a word like prolific and break it down. You know what I'm saying? If it were prolific, then it sick when I hit it when it sick it. You know what I mean? Like those is MCs, man, to me. And I like those like Dot. I've been running with Dot forever, man. Like me and Dot did a mixtape in a day. We did 32 songs on a mixtape in one day. That's how ill his work ethic is. Dot is my little brother, man. You know, blood ain't always family, but Dot is my little brother. I will give my right arm for him, man. And that's a fact. And Stomp too. Like, these is facts. Like, I go back with these dudes, man. And I salute them because they work on their craft. Rappers don't work on their craft, to me. And I'm just letting it be known. To me, rappers don't work on their craft. MCs work on their craft because a true MC, when he come in the room and he starts spitting something and another MC is in the room, when he hear this dude spitting something, the first thing he gonna say is, yo, I gotta come with some shit because that motherfucker nice. A rapper won't even give a shit. He gonna get up there and say whatever he say and walk the fuck off. You know what I mean? That's just bottom line. You know what I mean?
That's why I wanted to ask you and refer back to the cypherology of hip hop, because it seemed like Newark, New Jersey perfected its own version of it. That's why the arcade downtown was so live. And when I went to Double O's video shoot for his video, I think it's The Wrong Ones featuring Tretch and Do It All, shameless plug. When I went to the video shoot for that, I put out a cypher video, and B Fuse, Dot Bundini, Stress, Ibmatic, Push Buttons. I had some people in there, and the energy in the cypher is not what you see on BT. No, the energy of in the cypher. Shout out to Cash Rock too. He was in there. The energy in the cypher is something that bubbles under your skin because you could feel that somebody can't wait to get on and say something.
Right.
Why do you think? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you about to say?
That's the energy of a cipher, and that's what it's supposed to do, and that's how you're supposed to feel, because it's friendly competition. I can't let the next man say better shit than me. I'm not gonna let that nigga say more tougher shit than me. I'm not gonna let him style out better than me. Nigga, I'm coming with the I gotta have it. And that's what the energy is supposed to be like. That BET shit is straight knockoff.
Garbage. It's garbage.
Yeah, that shit is
trash. Garbage truck juice. Basura.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say, that's what it is.
That shit is hot dog. That shit is hot dog water.
Yeah.
Nah. The ciphers in Newark. Yo, true story. If there's anybody in the chat, put a 3 in the chat. If y'all remember this, there was a cipher in front of the Muse in New York City. We was about 25 deep going to the Muse in New York. And when we was coming up the street, we seen this big ass cipher in front of the Muse. And we was wondering who was in the cipher because jokers in the cipher was going crazy over this nigga that was in the middle of the cipher. So we like, yo, who the fuck is ripping this shit down? We get close and it's old dirty bastard. God rest his soul. Dirty was in the cipher spazzing. He was shutting it down. Yo, no lie on everything I love. These Newark Jersey niggas started jumping in that cipher and it was a wrap. We was crushing everything. Yo, we crushed everything, including Dirty, God rest his soul. He got his own crazy wild style. I love him. That's always been my man. From that night, till the day he passed, we always been good friends. Like him and my crew and our clique and all of that. Like Dirty always been my man. But that cipher, we was crushing everything, yo. A Newark cipher is where you want to be when it goes down. Salute to you, because I seen that cipher with Dot and Push Buttons and all of them. That was yo. Dot was wigging too. He was wigging. So was Ibmatic. I never really got a chance to hear Ibmatic too much, and once I found out that was Push's son, I was like, yo, that's crazy. But everybody was with and Fuse, beat Fuse, man. That's my guy. Yo, ask him about me, yo. Ask him about GL. Fuse will tell you, yo, ask him about me. These my guys, man. These is all my guys, man.
I have a plan that I want to do for New Jersey hip hop, but I need veterans like you. And this is the reason why. If 700 songs come out per day on average, just giving a number, 699 other people besides the artist that comes out gets heard. So you're fighting 699 other people.
Fact.
And then the next day it goes up to 1399, then 2099, then 2799, because each day your song ages 3 to 6 months faster than it did in the 90s. Because back in the 90s, you can have an album out and it'll last for 2 years. You can do that today. But then because people want to copy Jay-Z, who was trying to get out of a deal, not trying to just come out with music every year, people sped up the cycle. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it, young man.
So I believe the key to bringing New Jersey hip hop back is the cipher.
Yo, I think you should do that. And whatever you need from me, man, whatever beats you need, I'll send you the heat to the heat and the heat. And I think you should do that, man, as a segment for Heritage Hip Hop, man. And then, do the illest ciphers and do an award for the illest cipher member at the end of the year or whatever. You know what I mean? I think that's a great idea, man, because it's going to showcase the talent and it's going to make brothers want to get their pen together. Because if you're going to get in a cipher, your pen need to be right.
Big bro, the MC's not showing up. Me and Ipkiss tried already, and that's the problem. Yeah, we had a beat and everything, and people didn't show up. And I'm gonna keep it honest with you. What Fuse and them did that night kept my heart alive for it. So that's why I restructured Heritage Hip Hop. See, Truth Behind Bars is acapella bars in black and white to show you the essence of the MC, not the color. It's the heart of the MC that comes through. That's and people always ask me, was this good enough? I said, it's not about me, it's what you feel. And if you feel it and people tell you that your bars was whack, you need some work. That's all it is. I tell everybody, this is your audition right here. If you like Jay-Z, he your favorite, all right, F it. If Jay-Z's your favorite, Jay-Z in front of me is with me right now. What would you say to him if he told you to give bars? If that's what you give and you feel like it's not good enough, well then don't talk to me about how did you do that? You know what I'm saying?
You know what, man, in our era when we was coming up, I know Freaka and my brother and even Vert, that's in the chat, I know they can attest to this. Anytime it was time for you to open your mouth and spit a rhyme, you wanted to say the illest rhyme that you had in your arsenal. You always wanted to, listen, man, you wanted to be known for that every time you spit a rhyme, you wanted to be known for that last rhyme you spit. And that last rhyme, the next joint that you write gotta be iller than that last joint that you wrote. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, bro, like no lie. We wrote songs, but then I would have a separate notebook from our songs that I would write freestyle rhymes in. You know what I mean? And I was known for punchlines and metaphors. Like I was crazy off that. And I would write separate rhymes, you know what I mean? Just so that if we cruising through the hood or something, or we somewhere and something pop off and we jump out on somebody or somebody come to the orphanage or we get caught up in a cipher or something, always had some fresh shit that niggas wouldn't hear that was on our songs. We prided ourselves in that. And I want to give a shout out to Slop, Travis, and Omavi, which was the Acrobats back in the day. I don't know if cats remember who the Acrobats was, but those is my brothers too, man. I wanted to scream their name. And when you're ready, we'll get into 2 p.m. because those dudes, man, yo.
Do it now. And look, shout out to everybody who's enjoying the interview. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Make sure you leave a comment, but hit the like and please share this because look, this is historic. And this is a man who deserves not only respect, this is somebody who we should all be celebrating because Jersey does not celebrate its legends correctly. Because if KG was from New York, he'd be up there with the greatest. If GL was from New York, he'd be up there one of the greatest. Let's put the capes on our heroes and let's show the world that Jersey got heroes too.
That's a fact. I appreciate that.
And Freaka said it was at the City, not the Muse, in 1993. Like no dirty bastard.
I ain't done. You ain't got to correct me on camera, nigga.
But you know,
bro. Nah, but that's my bro because he was with us. He know what's up.
It's important for us to put that out there because you know somebody's like, no, that ain't happening. They try to say we don't have credibility. You know what I'm saying?
No, fact. No, that's what's up. He got that. Nah, he right. But yo, man, I just 2 p.m. Freaka.
Yeah, talk about it.
And the Orphans, we was a joint at the hip, as well as Diesel Don and the Governor, Terrorist Clan. We was all joined at the hip. All right. Real shit, man. People used to come up to Clinton Ave to the Orphanage when they had shows to get us because we were so deep to roll with them to go to parties. So we'd be like 40, 50 deep going over to New York so we could take over. Facts. These is facts. Diesel Don came up to my crib one night, had a party in New York, and he was like, gee, where is Bond? Everybody in the yard, whoever want to come, I'll pay for them to get on the bus and I'll pay their way in. We filled up one train car, one whole train car going to New York to go to this show with Diesel Don. These is facts. When you get a hold of Diesel Don, he gonna tell you the same shit. 2 p.m., Freaka, we used to go to my man's crib. If we wasn't at my crib, if we wasn't with Gov, we was with my man Flex Dog up on Harrison. A lot of people don't mention Flex either, but he was pinnacle in the hip hop game. He had the ill beats in Newark, and people don't say his name.
That's
but
DJ Flex? That's DJ Flex? Okay.
My man Flex. We used to go to Flex crib, and we used to take 90-minute Maxell tapes, brand new joints. And we would go there, Flex would pull up beats, Gov would pull up beats, I'll pull up beats, and we have a 4 or 5 hour session of niggas just rhyming off the dome, filling up these Maxell tapes. I mean, 2 p.m., trench coat was a problem. Trench coat was a problem. Both of them niggas was a problem. Yo, we just, man, listen, man, when I talk about 2 p.m. and I talk about Freaka, man, like, those is like moments that, and my, as far as I look at it, I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm saying the way I look at it. Those is cherishable moments for me because these was A-alike brothers that understood what the music was about, man, and understood that, we gave that shit our all every time. We gave it our all every single time. And it wasn't about, me trying to outshine my brother. We had our own spoken slang with each other. We had our own everything with each other. We had just amongst us, we had our own little culture of things that went on. We like I said earlier, styling. We was styling on beats. You know what I mean? We was slick talking. We was, doing and that was just our own thing amongst us. We could be in a room of 50 people and I could say 2 things to them and they'll know exactly what I'm saying and nobody else won't know. You know what I mean? But that's how close we were and that's how the camaraderie was. And, I just salute to them brothers, man, because they just always took the culture to the next level. And I got something coming with with G Smoke too. Y'all gotta look out for that too. I got something coming with G Smoke that's gonna be crazy. I already told y'all the Freaka joint. Watch out for that. That's crazy. And salute the Freaka, man. Shout to Freaka. Yo, bro, I love you. Salute to everything you're doing. This Joker went platinum independent. Y'all need to give it up for that man. And y'all need to stop faking the funk. When he put a post up, follow that, shout, share that post, shout that out, because this is a brother that's been doing it for our city and had our city on his back. He been to every cipher, everything. You understand? And he asked for nothing from nobody. He did it because he loved this shit, man. And the same for me. You know, I do it because I love it. I ain't beat for no check. I'm good in that department. I ain't tripping off no check. I do this music because I love it, man. It's in my blood, man. I come from the Funkadelics, man.
We a little pressed for time. I'm gonna push this to about 8:30, but I have a couple questions that I want to ask you, because I don't think it would be a fair interview if I didn't do this. How'd you like the interview so far? Are we doing good? I mean, how we doing? Minus the technical difficulties.
I'm loving it, man. I'm really enjoying this, man.
All right, everybody in the chat, how y'all liking the interview? Let's put it out there. I want to know that we doing all right, because these technical difficulties pissed me off a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
That's all right, because it's only gonna get better.
Yeah, but we got to do it again. That's all it means to me. So let me ask you a question. I'm gonna open up a can of worms.
Let's do it.
By fan servicing.
Let's do it.
Who is the illest crew in Jersey, MC wise, ever?
Orphans.
What was different between the Orphans, the Outsiders, and anybody else that came out in Jersey?
Because we told our story, and our story was totally different from everybody else's. Brothers that came to the orphanage, man, was really from broken homes. We gave them niggas a place to stay. We gave them niggas something to eat, and they rocked with us. Niggas had our backs. You know what I'm saying? We told our story. We wasn't fabricating none of the shit that we did. Everything that we rapped about was everything that we got up and did every day. We sold drugs. One of my mans used to rob parking meters. Yeah, I'm dry snitching on us, and fuck it, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But yo, I'm just keeping it a bean. Everything that the Orphans rapped about was shit that we did. That separated us from a lot of other crews, man. Because there's a lot of other niggas that said a lot of shit on the mic, but if something jumped off, they was the first one in flight. That's a fact.
Okay. So being that you had like Desert Set, the Orphans, Outsiders, shout out to MO Sound Group. There's so many great teams. And that's only in the North area. We didn't even talk about South Jersey. We ain't talk about Random Chaos. Shout out to Joker and them. Like we ain't talk about a lot of people, but I just want to know.
Man, listen, Random Chaos, them niggas used to come to the crib all the time. I just talked to Joker.
All right.
Joker setting it up. I'm getting ready to do something with Joker. I just spoke to Rip Verbal. You understand what I'm saying? Random Chaos, those my guys. Like when I say I'm really an icon in the bricks, man, I'm really one of those who set a stone in Newark. I'm that guy. I said that. And I'm not pushing I ain't pushing no buttons to say I'm the greatest or none of that, man. But I know that I solidified my spot with Gorilla. Shout to Math Hoffa. That's his, that's what he that's his words. But I solidified my spot in Newark with producers, man, and doing this music thing. I paved the way for a lot of cats to do a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Street shit, music shit, whatever. I paved the way for a lot of shit. I was a very heavy influence on a lot of shit in Newark too. You know what I mean? Yo, it's just crazy. But no disrespect to none of the groups that we just mentioned.
No.
As far as Desert Set, nobody, those was my dudes too, man. Brainstorm, all of them. Those was all my people. You understand? Thank you, babe. Those is all my people, and I salute everybody. Anything that was tied with Gov and Freaka and Terrorist Clan and Diesel Don, PPP, Pack Pistol Posse and all that was tied with us, the Orphans up on Clinton Ave. You understand what I'm saying? Max Sewell, cuz that's my, listen, man, that's one of my Yo, I just talked to him. I just want to say, man, that no, I'm not slighting the fact that all of those other MCs were great and they're dope. But when you ask me, who do I think was the best? Of course, I gotta say my own group, because if I don't think I'm the best, then who the hell will?
And after a while in the bricks, after Red, it seemed like people were coming to pick people out of Newark and giving them deals, because the 90s was all about who could give you a return on investment if you put in. Facts. That's why I kind of hurt my heart that the Artifacts didn't blow up even more. That's my favorite Jersey hip hop group. I mean, I just love the Artifacts.
I got joints with them too that was never released. I got joints when you know, not to bring up no bad blood, but when Tame and L was kind of going through their thing, everybody know about it. But I got joints with Tame, solo joints with Tame.
I want them, by the way. But I want to ask you this question. Didn't the Orphans have like a deal on the table, something about a head rush or something?
The Head Rush was an album that I put together, and I went around, me, and I had a manager, his name was Bean, God rest his soul. We went and handpicked groups from everywhere in Newark, all over Newark, East Orange, Irvington, Montclair. I wanted a group from every region, and I put them on this joint called Essex County Head Rush. You could go right on YouTube and put in Essex County Head Rush, and a joint to come up, all of the joints that's on there. I produced 90% of the album. I was very pivotal in putting that whole thing together. Actually, to be honest with you, it was my idea, but I gave credit to everybody else who brought people in and did stuff and all of that too. But that was my idea to do a Essex County Head Rush, because they always shine a bad light on Jersey groups, especially from North Jersey, East Orange, Newark, whatever. And I wanted to be able to break that cycle and be able to put something out that everybody could see, that I was able to bring all of those groups together and collectively work on one project and do shows and, show that we was going to break that stigma that Jersey couldn't work together. So that was the reason, that I put that project together. So anybody that's listening, if y'all want to hit a project, y'all could go right on YouTube and put in Essex County Head Rush, and the whole project could come up. Put in Orphans on YouTube, Orfinz, and y'all can listen to a lot of our stuff too. But I got the classics right here in my hard drive.
Who was the original Hardware? And tell me how the group Hardware hit the city too.
The original Hardware group was Haas the Ripper and Little Sev. They were Hard We Are, right, but people used to say Hardware. Yeah. So actually, Hardware came from 2 p.m. That was G Smoke and Trenchcoat. They was Hardware at first, but then the back and forth between them and Little Sev and Haas the Ripper, they just said, "Fuck it, y'all, go ahead with the Hardware." But they wasn't Hardware; they was Hard We Are. But people used to pronounce it as Hardware, so they just said, "Y'all go ahead and run with that, and we're gonna take 2 p.m. two poor motherfuckers." That's how that started. Outsiders. Their first name was Schizo. And that was A-Form, Madman, and Young Z. People used to come to the orphanage, orphans, outsiders. You get it? Orphans, outsiders. They didn't become outsiders until after coming through to the orphanage, doing ciphers and all of that shit. These is facts. If anybody feels some type of way about it, it is what it is. I'm putting it out there. So they didn't become outsiders until after that. You know what I mean? Shout out to the guy who had the ice cream spot on Springfield Ave that used to manage them and all that.
Facts. I remember the ice cream spot. They had talked about it on MTV many times in BT.
Yeah, facts.
Check this out. I want to give you something I think about when it comes to hip hop. As you can tell, I love hip hop culture, especially what we have, because it's an unkept secret. And when I see people from the mainstream say Jersey is one of those little places that when you go in there, it's bigger than the mainstream because of the talent and the heart and love for the music that it has, right?
Of course. We got some of the biggest artists ever that came out of Jersey. Bruce Springsteen, Whitney Houston.
And some that people haven't heard of yet. And that's why we do this, by the way. Make sure you subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop, because we're more than music. We bring you your future favorite artists today. And today, we not only celebrate the new, but we celebrate our legends too. Shameless plug.
I love it. I love it. Let's do
it. So this is my question I want to ask you. When I think of hip hop, people ask me, like, what's your favorite hip hop movie of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite hip hop movie of all time is The Warriors. Am I just in saying that in your understanding of hip hop in your career?
The Warriors? I'm gonna say no. I don't.
Okay, tell me.
The Warriors wasn't a hip hop movie; it was a gang movie.
Aha! And that's where I want to start from, because hip hop started from the pain of the gang life.
Okay, I see where you're going. I see where you're going. You're trying to pull a rug. I see it. Let's do it.
And when you think about that, the gang was always about collectives who rode as a pack to be number one.
Facts.
So you always had the head group. People took direction from them, but everybody fought for their identity. That's hip hop.
Fact. Well, yeah. Okay. So then you're right. Then yeah, I like that analogy. I can see that.
In my opinion, the Warriors and Juice are Newark hip hop put together. What do you think?
I agree with that. I definitely can see that.
So if I look at hip hop in Newark as the gift that it is, the hidden gem is not that hip hop came to Newark and thrived. The hidden gem is that hip hop in Newark is like that cousin that when you call out, all hell breaks loose and you gotta like man up because your cousin came outside. Am I correct?
You had to be ready for whatever element came with Newark hip hop. And that goes back to, I could go back to 85, 86, 87, where Newark was running jokers out of the stadiums, running them off stage, running them out of the clubs and everything. So Newark hip hop, the element of Newark hip hop, you definitely had to be willing to accept what came with it, if that's what you was willing to deal with. It's a different breed. Newark hip hop was a different breed.
Well, let's give everybody your social media so they can ask you some more questions. And if they want, all y'all gotta do is contact me and this gentleman and tell him if you want him back on Heritage Hip Hop, so we can not only continue this conversation, because there's like 34 other questions I have to ask that I'm not going to get to tonight. Just to let you know, when I do my interviews, I have about 200 questions already lined up, but the way the interview goes, certain ones don't get asked.
That's cool.
So please give them your social media so they can all hit you up, find you, and hopefully get some music.
I'm on Facebook. My government, Frank Hatchett. And if I hear any of y'all scream my government, I know where to see you. I know where to come. Y'all can catch me on Facebook at Frank Hatchett. I'm on Instagram, Frank Bates 45. I have a Twitter, but I don't really be on there. But catch me on the gram or the book. I'm very accessible on either one of those. I just did a TikTok, but I'm heavy on the gram and I'm heavy on the book. So, and joke, y'all want music, whatever you want, beats, whatever you want, club, you want hip hop, you want whatever. I DJ, I do club mixes. I'm actually the vice president of the WAC DJs, working hard at creating kings. DJ Mustafa, DJ Qua, man, listen, I ain't even gonna sit here and try to name everybody because they're gonna kill me if I slip. Tim Dollar, DJ Tamil, Tech One, Jazzy B. Man, listen, DJ Mustafa, Nick's in the Mix, Love is Love, Shahir Williams, DJ Doughboy, You know, we all one clique of DJs called WAC DJs, and the acronym is working hard at creating kings. So, you know, on the house tip, you know, Jersey house music, I'm on that scene too, and I rock with a lot of my brothers on that. But this hip hop thing, man, I appreciate y'all for having me, man. I definitely want to do a part 2 to this interview, man. Karev, I salute you, man, and I salute everybody on your staff at Heritage Hip Hop, man, for keeping Newark alive, period. Not only just hip hop, but just keeping the culture of Newark alive. I definitely appreciate that, man, because you know, if we all we got, man, in Newark, and if we don't, you know, if we don't push the culture forward, it's gonna be lost, man. But people need to know that we are the gems in Jersey, man. We are hidden gems in Jersey, just like you said, hidden gems. So I took that from you and I spun it my own way because we do that in Newark. That's how we give it up. You know what I mean? But you know, Jersey hip hop, man, is very iconic, man, especially up north. And no slight to South Jersey or none of that, because I'm heavy influence in South Jersey too, as far as the music is concerned. I've done stuff with a lot of South Jersey artists too, man. Shout out to Jersey, period, man. Shout out to Jersey artists, period, man. You know, salute, and whatever y'all doing, keep doing it and go hard at it, man. And you know, y'all can find me on the book, y'all can find me on the gram.
Shout out to everybody asking about the Breakbeat album. We talked about that already.
The Breakbeat album is, I'm gonna put this out there. I did 1,000 copies, and the reason for me doing 1,000 copies is because I wanted it to be a classic. So if there's nobody that has it, I don't know if you could go online and find it or something like that or anything. I really don't know. I'm keeping it a bean. I got the master to it, but you know, if y'all want a copy of it or whatever, y'all can hit me up, and it'll cost you a couple of pennies. But I could definitely, you know, do a digital remaster copy of the Breakbeat album because it's a classic, man.
I want it. I want it. I'm telling you from the door, I want it. Yo, I'm a collector of a Jersey hip hop. Like, I don't know about all these other interviewers out here, but I really buy their music. Like, I really support these people that's on my what's the name? Like, you know, as a DJ, they give you music and stuff, but I'm buying music too because I want people to. I'll put my money where my mouth is. Just put it like that.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Well, we're gonna talk behind scene.
No doubt.
Let me give another shout out real quick, man, to some brothers I was just working with too, man. I was working with Smooth the Hustler and Trigger the Gambler. We just did a crazy project, man. I got some stuff that we're gonna be dropping soon too, man. Bro, man, I've been outside, man. I've been outside. That's all I can say. I've been outside.
All right. So before we end, I know you've seen some Heritage Hip Hop interviews before. We have something called the rapid fire questions, which are not yes, no questions, but they're questions to talk about your understanding of your craft and what you do in this music life. You ready to get about like 5 questions in for me?
Let's do it.
Question number 1. What is the difference in ear with a house DJ and a hip hop DJ or producer?
Give it to me one more time.
What is the difference in the ear of a house music producer or DJ and a hip hop producer and DJ?
Timing.
How so?
Timing. House is faster than hip hop a lot of times, and as far as DJs, but now producers, with a producer, the ear is it could be a number of different things. Whether you're using 4/4, 4/16, time signature, the swing, it could be a plethora of different things as far as a producer is concerned with either genre.
Question number 2. The hardest thing about R&B is finding someone who can sing. What is the hardest thing to find in hip hop to you?
A true craftsmanship of his words that could marry his rhymes with the perfect beat. That's the hardest. That's the hardest thing to me to find, where because you could get an MC that'll jump on a beat and it's dope, but then you could get an MC to jump on a beat and you want to record it right away. Like, hold up, don't say no more. We're gonna record that. Hold up. You get those moments, but then you get those moments and you got a dude that did a whole 16 and a hook. It's dope. Don't get me wrong, it's dope, but it's not that. So to me, I just think that it's the MC and the way that, you know, the cadence, the way he's styling on the beat. If he's following the rhythm, not actually the drums, he could be following a horn, a kick, a hi-hat, whatever, you know, it is to him that makes the beat and him perfect to make it a collaborative, perfect song.
Today's hip hop is different because we have more collaborations. Sometimes it's outdone, but when done right, like Sweet Dreams Volume 1 out right now, make sure you go get that.
Go cop that.
Award-winning album,
Sweet
by the
Dream.
way. When you look at today's hip hop, it happens too often, and sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle. If you could take today's collaborative spirit towards yesterday's hip hop in the late 80s, early 90s, maybe to 97, if you could catch lightning in the bottle, what collaboration would you wish you had produced and did something with?
Wow. Are you saying that as far as industry or Newark or both or what?
Yeah, both. Why not?
I always wished I could have did a track on Biggie. I always wished I could have did a track on Biggie. That was something that was on my bucket list. God rest Biggie. Rest in peace, King. That was something that that was one of my things that I would have loved to have done in my career, to do a beat on Biggie. As far as Newark is concerned, people might think I'm crazy, but I kind of did my one bucket list joint with one of the hardest, illest MCs in Newark, and that's Runt Dog. We got one of the hardest singles to grace the streets of Newark, and that was Uncrushable. I did a joint for I did that. If you heard that joint, that's my production on that. That's one of the joints that, and I always wanted to do something with Runt ever since I first heard him. And he was like one of my cats that I had my eye on, because Runt, when he speaks to my heart, because that's the type of rhyming that I like. That's where I live as far as rhyming. You know what I'm saying? As far as the MC is concerned. So those are my collaborative points.
Side note, I always ask this question to the veterans. I have to ask you this question. New Jersey's biggest enemy in hip hop is itself, not New York. I believe this. I want to ask you this. What do you think the impact would have been if we got an Uptown Anthem remix with Tretch and Redman on the beat?
That would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. Crazy. That would have quieted a lot of naysayers, bro. That would have hit real hard. That would have hit real hard in the music business, man. Shit, I would have liked to see Do It All on that, all three of them. That's a fact. Do my man too. Shout out to Do. Shout out to the Lords, period.
Fact. Shout out to all our artists from Jersey.
Facts.
It's too easy to ask a producer question, so I'm gonna save the producer question for last. Okay. This is the fourth question, and I talked about the collaborative spirit already. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. If there were two MCs from Newark who didn't get their just due, who you think people would have heard, collaborative or solo, give me two MCs that you think, if given the opportunity, they would be just as talked about as the Kanes, the Rakims, the Coogee Raps, etc.
I don't know if brothers remember this brother, but a brother by the name of Crazy Skelly was he was lyrically he was man like no other, man. And Raggedy Man.
So collectively or individually, you think if they would have had the opportunity, it would have been out there. Okay. Well, for everybody out there watching Heritage Hip Hop, I thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on YouTube. Hit the notification bell to be updated because in October, Heritage Hip Hop is back. We've been taking our month off to rest off of the Heritage Hip Hop Awards that we just did that you can see in our on our playlist, 2021 Heritage Hip Hop Awards. Heritage Hip Hop is also nominated for the Black Podcasting Awards for Best Hip Hop or Best Music Podcast. So hopefully we'll bring it home next week. We made the cut out of everybody who knew who was nominated. So we're building this platform and we thank you for your participation, your watching, your ears, your viewership. Please like, share, subscribe, comment to Heritage Hip Hop on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, etc., etc. But we also have our own website. You can follow us at heritagehiphop.com. When you see the interviews, you get music, you get gifts, and we have specific playlists that we make that honor the artists from New Jersey. Playlist number 1 was Samad Savage, Jay Wonder, Ibmatic, and Solus. We also had the BC era, that's ODM. We also did the best of the 050 Boys done by me on heritagehiphop.com. And soon, hopefully soon, we'll have the best of Dot Bundini coming soon. So we're going to have some stuff up there. So please subscribe.
I played a big part of that boy, listen, I done gave him some heat, man. He got classic. He got classics.
What's up?
Real quick, man, I just want to say I have a company called JG Hatchet Entertainment, LLC. Untapped Talent Records is my record label, and Untapped Talent Records at gmail.com is the email. Untapped Music Radio is my other email because I also have an internet radio station that I have. Untapped Music Radio is my radio station. I feature artists, independent artists, artists that are already out, DJs. If you have a podcast, if you spoken word, anything, just contact me. Those are my emails: jghatchetllc@gmail.com, untappedmusicradio@gmail.com, and untappedrecords@gmail.com. Untapped Music Recordings@gmail.com. My bad.
Well, we need to talk behind the scenes because we could get something together with us and keep that we keep it moving collectively and not just because one thing I think about New Jersey that I think New Jersey's full of shit. We have a lot of people that's media, but the media don't the media don't fuck with each other for some reason. And for some reason, some of the media people want to be artists. So I've been challenged by some of these media folk who think I'm full of shit, and I'm gonna show them up on their own game. So yeah, people talk greasy behind the scenes with the media, and this is crazy. So
bro, listen, I want to salute you, man, because like for real, it's a lot of platforms that I've been on that I've been interviewed on. And not just because you're from the city, you're from the town, and you know of me, I know of you, and Heritage Hip, y'all really do your thing, and you are definitely prolific with the questions, and your interviewing is outstanding, bro. And I definitely want to salute you for that, man. Every interview I see that you do, because I'm tapped into Heritage Hip Hop, man. I'm subscribed, and my notification bell pop up. So whenever you do something new, it pop up, and I'm in tune. And Yo, you do your thing, bro. Karev, you do your thing, bro. You do your
Thank
thing.
you. Thank you. So let's go out with a bang with the final question.
Let's do it.
And this question was made specifically for you. So you're the only person who got asked this question. Here we go. It's a philosophical question.
Okay.
The backstory to this question is this. Do you know what college is?
College?
Yes.
As far as school?
What was college meant for? What does college mean? Do you know what college is?
In technical terms, it's education.
Wrong.
Okay.
America turned college into that because in the government, a guy said that after the baby boom, there's too many kids and they don't want to put them in the workforce too fast. So they wanted to make an adult babysitter for the workforce. That's why people couldn't get jobs with high school diplomas anymore. They had to go to college, not university, college.
Okay.
And the theory of college comes from Egyptians, Greeks. College was when people would come together and share knowledge, like a debate, and then go live and then come back with their notes.
Okay.
College was a cipher.
Right.
And the thing that we take for granted is the work that it takes to make the mind sharp. Or in hip hop, people take for granted the work that makes the song hit.
Okay.
So as a producer, beat maker, MC, and authoritarian, you know what that means, look it up. An authoritarian when it comes to hip hop, I want to ask you, there's two tools that a producer uses that makes his craft his own: his ears and his hands. My question to you is, which is taken for granted more, the producer's ear or his hands?
The ear.
Why do you say that?
Because you don't actually have to have hands to produce a record.
That's interesting.
Quincy Jones didn't know how to play a instrument. All his production came from his mind and notes that he heard. So he couldn't play an instrument, but he knew how he wanted the structure of the song to go. He knew he wanted this melody here, this melody here. You understand what I'm saying? Producer is not just getting in the studio and working the equipment. A producer is one that constructs a song note by note and arranges the song for a singer, a rapper, a jazz artist, or a musician, or whatever. That's what a producer is, aside from a beat maker. So I would definitely say what's taken for granted more is the ear.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Heritage Hip Hop Live tonight, and realize that your ear is connected to your spirit. If the eyes are the windows to your soul, your ear is the doorway to the spirit that connects you to God's wisdom, because expression is how you praise and worship. And the gentleman I have on tonight not only gave his expression to hip hop, he gave his lyrical and creative ear so that you can be inspired and be great in how you translate music from the ether to your expression as well. On behalf of GL, this is Kareb, a Heritage Hip Hop, saying make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, follow us both on social media, and always remember, God didn't make you to be regular. He made you to be great. Your job is what a man you do to get a check, but your work is how you honor God with your life. With that being said, we are out of here. Peace, and we out. We gone.
Walk in your purpose.
That's it.
Peace.